Hi everyone. In this video, we will understand the purpose of C# script and what are the available lifecycle hooks that the MonoBehaviour class provides. First, we need to understand when we attach a C# script to any object, it gives us a wide range of components which we can control through that C# script, and all that happens is through this MonoBehaviour class. Okay. Apart from these components, it also provides us these hooks which we can use to control the behavior of a game object on various steps of its life cycle. Though, so the first life cycle hook we will discuss is the awake. This one is called at the start of the script, when the script loads basically, and we put all the initializations and initial stage of the player we can put in here. So for example, let's say your player's health and position we have to set, we will set it in this awake method. Okay. And then we have onEnable. So before understanding onEnable, we have to know one thing, that our game objects will not be active all the time in your game. So they will be inactive at some places, and then they can be active again. So for example, let's say you when you shoot an enemy, it hides from there and respawns from some other location, so it gets inactive for some time and then gets activated. So in that case, we will use onEnable to initialize or reset its previous state. So for example, if you were seeing that enemy at top left initially, and once you have shoot the enemy, now you want to respawn it at some other location, right? So that resetting its location would be done in the onEnable. Next we have start method. This method is executed once this awake and onEnable is finished, not from this current script but from all the available scripts in your scene. So when we are at start, we know that the initialization of other objects is completed, so we can now initialize the properties which depend on the other objects. And then we have update method. Update method runs for every frame, and this is where you will put most of the game logic. But before the update method, all the input events are handled by the Unity. Next we have last update. This method is called once update is completed, not for this script but for all the scripts in the scene. Okay. And it makes this method useful for adding the final animations. For example, your player has fell off the ridge and you have to make some animation, the final animations. So those final animations you can put in this LateUpdate method. And then we have FixedUpdate. The FixedUpdate is executed after a fixed interval. So we put mostly all the physics related stuff in here. So let's say you have shot a bullet to the enemy, and the collision has to be detected. So the collision will not be detected on every frame because it will be very costly operation. So the collision will be detected after a predefined interval. Okay, but there can be a situation obviously that your bullet was too fast and the collision was not detected because the interval initiated after some time. In that case, Unity provides some other methods to detect the collision, which is called continuous collision detection. We will discuss that later. And after the fixed update, we have OnDisable and OnDestroy. These are basically used for cleanup purposes. So when a game object is enabled, this onEnable method is called, and when a game object is disabled, this OnDisable method is called. Okay. And then we have the OnDestroy. This OnDestroy method will be called when your game object is going to be permanently removed from the scene, and you want to do some cleanup. Maybe you want to stop some animations. or remove references from singletons, etc. We will have separate videos in which we will discuss examples for each of these lifecycle hooks. Thank you very much.